This is what a ghost is within the context of the cryptid world. And they fade out through time because there's always energy loss. And so about 300 years...
With I and my team, we are ready to crush the demons into red paste.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Thumbs up for that. It is still kind of gray and diffuse outside, so we have lots of cloud cover in the morning. It doesn't get cool. I had the fans, both of them, hallway and window fans on this morning, and as soon as I'm done recording, the lights are going to go off so that it cools down. So, thumbs up. And so I'm wearing this shirt, which now, after that I've washed it, this is the second time I've worn it. I didn't wash it the first time. I got it straight from the store and wore it. Yay, you shouldn't do that. But it's gotten a little bit tighter than I like. I don't like form-fitting stuff. I don't really feel that I have a form that needs to be fitted to. And so I'm constantly pulling at it because it's too tight. So I'm going to be changing as soon as I'm done. Thumbs up for that. But still, hey, front loading of videos. If you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, very, very cool. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons, these literally beautiful and literally awesome people that are, in fact, literally beautiful and literally awesome. And not only that, these people help to keep me and my pets alive. Without their help, well, I would quite frankly be homeless. So thank you, each and every one of you. You are amazing, and it is beautiful. If you'd like to become a patron, there are links in the video description. Just thumbs up for that. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there's a PayPal link. If you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, there's an Amazon wishlist link with stuff like cat food on it. So thumbs up. And hey, front loading a video is over. So yeah, it's a warm day. It was sunny and hot yesterday. And it wasn't bad. I went for walks, and while it was hot, it was more of a heat that I could tolerate, and that was good. Definitely a thumbs up on that. My weight is continuing to drop, which I don't eat a ton, and that's good. I eat far too much bad stuff, and that's bad. But my weight, just after my wife died, I'd always been between like 240 and 290 while my wife was alive. And then after she died, my weight ballooned up to 325. And then I got really, really sick where I could not eat and could barely drink. I'm amazed I actually survived. I went down to 160 pounds before that all went and blew over. Literally, I lost half of my body weight. That's not healthy. It was like a month and a half that happened. So if that happens to you, get help quick. But I had been at 160. I look skeletal, sick, and gaunt at 160. But at 215, like I had been a little bit ago, that's too heavy, way too heavy. And all of my life, I've been struggling with my weight, but I'm back down to under 190 again. Definitely a good thing. So thumbs up on that. I am kind of a statistical anomaly that way. In actually a couple ways. Number one, I'm still a recovering alcoholic. I got sober in the year 2000. I have fallen down. I am a human being. I have fallen. The shame is not in falling. The shame is in not getting back up. After falling, I've gotten back up. So I have been sober since the year 2000 with a few falls. Not much, and that's good. If it had been more than just a temporary fall, I wouldn't even be alive. The reason I say I'm a statistical anomaly that way, and that I've been 22 some odd years sober, is because when you rehab off of other drugs, because alcohol is a drug, they check back on people in 10 years to see how they're doing. See if you're still sober, see if you're still clean, see if you're still going on without anything, if you haven't relapsed. They don't do that with alcoholics. With alcoholics, they check back on you in 5 years to see how you're doing. Because if they wait 10 years, all of the alcoholics have relapsed and died. Alcohol is terrible. It is horrible. Please be careful. If you are young, hokey smokes. So the people that actually get sober and stay sober like 20 some odd years, there are very few of us. We are a statistical anomaly because most alcoholics just drink until they die, no matter what. So I'm glad to be a statistical anomaly. In that fashion, I like metabolizing. There's also, they have found that when you gain weight, your body's new baseline for where it wants to be is at that prior weight. So if you're at 150 and you don't really go around there, your body wants to stay right around 150. You gain weight to 175 and then try to bring it down to 150. Your body is struggling to get back up to 175, no matter what you want. You get up to 200, your body wants you to be at 200 now. You get up to 325, your body wants to be at 325 from this point on. So I've got to fight my own body's baseline struggles to get back up to 325. This is why most people fail diets if they've gotten any weight. You are fighting your millions of years of instincts and drives to help you survive, but this isn't really survival at this point. But your body wants to get there. Joy. So yeah, keeping weight off. If you've been heavy, you're also a statistical anomaly. Not as much as the whole alcohol thing, but still. So I'm a fighting and I'm a struggle on many, many fronts. Also, well, not also. I mean, yesterday I had some issues with falling asleep a little bit. I also played as many games as I could, which wasn't many, watched videos, listened to music. So it was a day. It was a day where I wish I had gotten more done, but I survived, and that's what's important. I have also been doing a lot of thinking on creative measures, and hopefully I'm going to be able to remember them a bit. I also, because of I just can't not go unmedicated for my ADHD, even if the medications that I take aren't the best. I took another Strattera this morning because I was feeling so incredibly time blind. Time was just going like blink, 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 and huge gaps of time going by. So I've taken a guanfacine, which is a blood pressure med that does ADHD stuff. I've taken a Strattera, which is for ADHD. And while neither of these things really do good for me, they're better than not. So here's hoping. The bad part is, of course, they tend to make you sleepy, and I also take cannabis, and cannabis makes Strattera make you sleepier, so here's hoping I don't just fall asleep all day. But as stated, I have been trying to do as much creative thinking as I can, especially when I go out walkies. I did the bulk of my cosmic horror framework and all this sort of creative stuff without being medicated. It took far longer than it should have because my unmedicated ADHD brain, but I can be creative, I can think. It's just so much harder when I'm not medicated. But I've been thinking a lot about the whole cryptid stuff, and of course thinking about the whole Department of Government Resources in the fictional city of Brookerton, in its own fictional county surrounded by 7 fictional counties in the non-fictional state of South Carolina, the United States of America. This is where the gate with the Crimson Kingdom and Apple Rock is. Look, you pass through that door, and you're into that particular crimson. You're into that particular razor's edge, because every door to the inside has its own razor's edge. And there are millions of doors on the planet Earth alone. Every planet has doors. Every star system has doors. Every galaxy has doors. Every galactic cluster has doors. There are more doors to the inside than anyone could ever do anything with. But, as stated, I've been trying to think on various things on all these parts with the cryptid information and working on that, because I love my cryptids as much as I am kicking every single one of them into the alligator pit and seeing how many of them can crawl out of the other side, or if there's just gonna be a bunch of fat alligators in there. It's just, I love them even though I'm hurting them so much, because yes, I was verifying and recontextualizing with the ghost type cryptids, where there's Melanie Cable, the first one that I was thinking of, and her struggles and fights for identity. There's another ghost type cryptid, Daryl, who was a victim of a serial killer from 20 years back, before Eric, a person who can see cryptids after being exposed to enough, sees them. And their lives are sad because they like each other and there's no physical way to touch. And they fall in love. Melanie Cable and Daylene, they fall in love. They don't. And of course, ghost cryptids, verifying and recontextualizing for myself that their lives are so much more tragic. It's just awful. Because we all, anything of intelligence within the context of the stories has quantum knotting. It forms a quantum knotting pattern, an individual pattern that is unique to each intelligent individual. There are some people whose these patterns impress upon the matrix of the cryptid energy, so that the reactions of the cryptid energy matrix becomes self-perpetuating and self-editing. It has no autonomy or agency, and it's not the pattern of quantum knotting. It is just the matrix determining how it should react, I'm explaining this very poorly. Let me try that one again. As the pattern interacts with the matrix is learning how it should do things compared to what happens in the outside world, so that it becomes self-perpetuating and self-editing. It is the matrix itself reacting as if the pattern were there, by learning how the pattern works, so that it can continue even without the pattern. Hopefully that was better. There is no real agency or anything on that. There are just some people, their genes, their extra universal cryptid genes express in such a fashion that they affect the matrix of the cryptid energy in that fashion, so that when their physical body dies, this pattern on the matrix gains its autonomy and agency. This is what a ghost is within the context of the cryptid world, and they fade out through time because there's always energy loss. And so about 300 years is how long a normal ghost type cryptid lasts before it just fades back into the matrix. And yeah, as you lose your ability to interact with the world as a cryptid, you lose your capacity to understand that you're losing your capacity to interact. So you descend into happy imbecility as you essentially suffer from supernatural cryptid Alzheimer's. And that's the fate of all cryptid ghost types. Eventual passing and fading through dementia and Alzheimer's. And that's horrific. I keep finding new ways to grind the knife and the dagger. Grind the dagger in the wound. There's also stated there's the glamours within the context of the inside-outside razor's edge thing. When you need to travel, you begin to spark in a fashion. I want to try and get through it quickly, so hopefully I'm not going to ruin this one too much. You begin to spark and send out little streamers along threads. Your destination, if you know where it is, also sends out these threads. If they connect, you have a connection, you know how to get there, you can follow the glamours. The Department of Government Resources, the heart of this thing, which is not alive, it is just a process, a machine. It is constantly sparking on the surface of the earth, trying to connect with anything. You have to achieve a certain threshold wherein, if you think about the Department of Government Resources, but it's in the abstract, like, oh yeah, it's a government building in another city, you don't pass the threshold. You can think about the department in those terms. But when it becomes a concrete thing, like, oh, the Department of Government Resources, that's by the hotel in Brookerton, isn't it? That's not an abstract anymore. That has now become a concrete place in the world for you. You begin to spark. Because of that, connection made between you and the department. Now, whenever the threshold of interference passes above a certain point, you will be hit with a Dunning field. If you think, oh, I have an appointment tomorrow, and I hate that place, no problems. Everybody hates that place. There's not an issue. You think, I don't like that place because there's a little bit of interference in your thought now. I forget things. Oh, the signals are going, and this is not a conscious thing. It's just what you think about versus what you don't. Some things increase interference patterns. Thinking about things like why you're being affected there's certain ways when you go to the department, that sets up a lot of interference. But if you think, I always forget things because I'm just a forgetful person, it's going to stay at that interference level and then slowly fade down through time. But if you think, I always forget things because this place, the interference is such enough that you're going to get hit with a Dunning field. And the Dunning field is going to interfere with your mind to bring that interference back down to below. And so you will do something along the lines of, boy, I really hate going to the Department of Government Resources because I'm always just I got a lighter. I got a lighter. And then you stare at the lighter for a while. And when you come back out of that, you don't even remember what you were thinking about. The Dunning field turns off your rememberer as if you were dreaming, lowers a lot of your other brain waves and such so that you are partly into dream and sleep cycles. You lose your ability to think critically. You lose your ability to make proper judgments. You feel good when it's done, both mentally and physically, but you have no ideas that you ever thought, boy, I hate that place, because that's gone. It's wiped from your memory. The Dunning field affects everybody who thinks about the Department of Government Resources as a conscious and concrete idea. You get that connection, it's always made, you think about things, the Dunning field hits you, you forget. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, even though I count American Sign Language. Well, you've already seen how my brain works. So let me call on my Chrome. We have Jesse Koskinen. Holy smokes. The Oblivion Mage quests are just absolutely insane. These people are like children given high velocity, high power weaponry and no supervision. Good to see you in the comments. Sebastian Ferris, thumbs up, and good to see you in the comments as well, my friend. Alejandro Ruvalcaba, I have no ideas how to pronounce that properly, but thank you very much. Sam Elliott, greatly appreciated, definite thumbs up. Unbearable Suffering. I need a skeleton key, and I like your username. Jeff Wheeler, thumbs up and thank you. Sad Homie, greatly appreciated, thank you. Seth Melvin, greatly appreciated, it's going well so far. Kryptonite, Mages Guild Will Party, thank you for the link, that was very cool. Chris Allen, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. And thumbs up. I didn't get to talk about the one cryptid stuff that I wanted to talk about, so hopefully tomorrow. We have TJB0613, thumbs up. Gamba Juice, thumbs up and thank you. Ben B, always good to see you in the comments. Thumbs up and thank you. Loco5, thumbs up, greatly appreciated. Good to see you. We have Aleka Das, LALEKHYA, thumbs up and thank you much. And there is Scott 49140. I want to make sure I got it correct. Thumbs up and thank you. Adrian, greatly appreciated. There is Sport Blatz, thumbs up and thank you. Flora Mew, always good to see you in the comments, my friend. Definitely a thumbs up. And there is George Ofori Ata, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. 20 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. Greatly appreciated. Get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people. A definite thumbs up. And of course, it being a weekend, I'm not going to get much done. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to try and relax, have fun, and do things for me to take it easy. You should do the same. Definitely a thumbs up for that. And no matter where you are in the world, please, the covfefe bug is still out there. We're starting to surge again in the US. Small surges, but it's happening. Be smart. Take appropriate precautions for your area and situation. You don't need to throw your body onto the end-of-life corpse pile before you must. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.